Okay. Now says the Lord, the God of Israel, who has driven the Amorites out before his people. His people Israel, what right have you to take it over? Will you not take what your God Chemosh gives you? Likewise, whatever the Lord our God has given us, we will possess. Are you any better than Balak son of Zippor, king of Moab? Did he ever quarrel with Israel to fight with them? For 300 years Israel occupied Heshbon, Aroer, the surrounding settlements, and all the towns along the Arnon. Why didn't you retake them during that time? I have not wronged you, but you are doing me wrong by waging war against me. Let the Lord, the judge, decide the dispute this day between the Israelites and the Ammonites. The king of Ammon, however, paid no attention to the message Jephthah sent him. Then the Spirit of the Lord came on Jephthah. He crossed Gilead and Manasseh, passed through Mizpah and Gilead, and from there he advanced against the Amorites. And Jephthah made a vow to the Lord, if you keep the Amorites into my hands, whatever comes out of the door of my house to meet me when I return in triumph from the Amorites will be the Lord's, and I'll sacrifice it as a burnt offering. I can't stay close out to the door of my house to meet me. Then Jehovah went over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave them into his hands. He devastated 20 towns from Aroer to the vicinity of Minnit, as far as Abel Keramim. Thus Israel subdued Ammon. When Jephthah returned to his home in Mizpah, Hushai came out to meet him but his daughter, dancing to the sound of timbrels. She was an only child. Except for her, he had neither son nor daughter. When he saw her, he tore his clothes and cried, "Oh no, my daughter, have you brought me down? And you have brought me down, and I'm devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break." My father, she replied, "You have given your word to the Lord. Do to me just as you promised now that the Lord has avenged you of your enemies, the Amorites. But grant me this request." She said, "Give me 2 months to roam the hills and weep with my friends because I will never marry." "You may go," he said, and he let her go for 2 months. She and her friends went into the hills and wept because she could never marry. After the 2 months she returned to her father, and he did to her as he had vowed, and she was a virgin. From this comes the Israelite tradition that each year the young woman in Israel go out for 4 days to commemorate the daughter of Jephthah and Gilead. Judges 11. Give me a short. The judge of Israel made a foolish vow that God gave him victory in battle. He will sacrifice for their just account. He came to battle. Ah, what the fuck? Holy shit. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. Next one. Oh. Jephthah and Ephraim. The Ephraim forces were cowed out and they crossed over to Zaphon. They said to Jephthah, "Why did you go to fight the Amorites without calling us to go with you? We're going to burn down your house over your head." Jephthah answered, "I and my people were engaged in a great struggle with the Ammonites, and although I called, you didn't save me out of their hands. When I saw that you wouldn't help, I took my life in my hands. I crossed over to fight the Ammonites, as the Lord gave me the victory over them. Why have you came up to fight me today, okay?" Said to Jephthah, "Why have you come to fight me without calling us to go with you?" Against your struggle, and although I called, you didn't save me out of their hands. When I saw that you wouldn't help, you took my life in my hands and crossed over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave me the victory over them. Why have you come up to fight with me?" Jephthah then called together the men of Gilead and fought against Ephraim. The Gilead struck them down because the Ephraimites had said, "You Gileadites are renegades from Ephraim and Manasseh." The Gilead captured the fords of the Jordan to Ephraim, and whenever a survivor of Manasseh said, "Let me cross over," the men of Gilead asked him, "Are you an Ephraimite?" If he replied no, they said, "Alright, say Shiburet." If he said Siburet because he would not pronounce the words correctly, they seized him and killed him, and the force of the Jordan, 42,000 Ephraimites were killed at that time. Jephthah led Israel 6 years. Then Jephthah and the Gilead died and was buried in the town of Gilead. Okay. Isban, Eon, and Abdon. After him, Isban of Bethem led Israel. He had 30 sons and 30 daughters. He gave his daughters away in marriage to those outside his clan, and for his sons he brought in 30 women and wives from outside his clan. Ibzan died later of 7 years, then his bad died and was buried in Bethlehem. After him, Evon and Zebulunite led Israel 10 years. Then he died and was buried in Aijavon in the land of Zebulun. After him, Abdon, son of Hillel, from Piaton, led Israel. He had 40 sons and 30 grandsons, who rode on 7 donkeys. He led Israel 8 years. Then Abdon, son of Hillel, died and was buried at Piraton in Ephraim in the hill country of the Amalekites. Okay, I can read those two and I go. The birth of Samson. Again, the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, so the Lord delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. After the man of Zorah, named Manoah, from the clan of the Danites, had a wife who was childless, unable to give birth. The angel of the Lord appeared to her and said, "You are barren and childless." Just fucking fix my glasses type shit. Okay, what did the angel say? "You're barren and childless, but you're going to become pregnant and give birth to a son. Now see to it that you drink no wine or other fermented drink, and that you do not eat anything unclean. You will become pregnant and have a son whose head is never to be touched by razor, because the boy is to be a Nazarite dedicated to God from the womb, Nazirite. from the womb, he would take the lead to deliver Israel from the hands of the Philistines. Then the woman went to her husband and told him, "A man of God came to me. He looked like an angel of God, very awesome. I didn't ask him where he came from, and he didn't tell me his name. But he said to me, 'You become pregnant and have a son. Now then, drink no wine or other fermented drink, and do not eat anything unclean, because the boy will be a Nazarite of God from the womb until the day of his death.' Then Manach prayed to the Lord, 'Pardon your servant, Lord, I beg you, to let the man of God sent to us come again to teach us how to bring up the boy who is to be born.' God heard Manoach, and the angel of God came again to the woman while she was out in the field, but her husband Manoach was not with her. The woman heard the husband, 'He is here, the man who appeared to me the other day.' Manoach got up and followed his wife. When he came to the man, he said, 'Are you the man who talked to my wife?' 'I am,' he said. So Manoach asked him, 'When your words are fulfilled, what is to be the rule that governs the boy's life at work?' Yeah. The angel of the Lord answered, 'Your wife must do all that I have taught her. She must not eat anything that comes from the grapevine, nor drink any wine or fermented drink, nor eat anything unclear. She must do everything I have commanded her.' Manoach said to the angel of the Lord, We would like you to stay until we prepare a young goat for you." The angel of the Lord replied, "Even though you detain me, I will not eat any of your food, but if you prepare a burnt offering, offer it to the Lord." Manoach did not realize that it was an angel from the Lord. Then Manoach inquired of the angel of the Lord, "What is your name, so that we may honor you when your words come true?" He replied, "Why you ask my name? It's beyond understanding." Then Manoach took a young goat, together with the grain offering, and sacrificed it on a rock to the Lord. And the Lord did an amazing thing while Manoach and his wife watched. As the flame blazed up from the altar towards heaven, the angel of the Lord descended in the flame, singing. Manoach and his wife fell on their faces to the ground when the angel of the Lord did not show himself again to Manoach and his wife. Manoach realized that it was the angel of the Lord. "We are doomed to die," he said to his wife. "We have seen God." But his wife answered, "If the Lord had meant to kill us, we would have not accepted a burnt offering and grain offering from our hands, nor shown us all these things, or now told us this." The woman gave birth to a boy and named him Samson. He grew, and the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him while he was in Manahech, Dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. How long is 15? The birth of Samson. And he grew and the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of the Lord began to stir him while he was in Manahech, Dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. Samson's marriage. Samson went down to Timnah and saw there a young Philistine woman. When he returned, he said to his father and mother, "I have seen a Philistine woman in Timnah. Now get her for me as my wife." His father and mother replied, "Isn't there an acceptable woman among your relatives or among all people? Must you go for the uncircumcised Philistines to get a wife?" But Samson said to his father, "Get her for me. She is the right one for me." His parents did not know that this was from the Lord, who was seeking an occasion to comfort the Philistines, for at the time they were ruling over Israel. Samson went down to Timnah together with his father and mother. As they approached the vineyards of Timnah, suddenly a young lion came roaring towards him. The Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, so that he tore the lion apart with his bare hands, as he might have done. He might have torn a young goat, but he told neither his father nor his mother what he had done. Then he went down and talked with the woman as he liked her. Sometime later, when he went back to marry her, he turned aside to look at the lion's carcass, and in it he saw a swarm of bees and some honey. He scooped out the honey with his hands and ate as he went along. When he rejoined his parents, he gave them some, and they too ate it. But they did not tell. He didn't tell them that he had taken the honey from the lion's carcass. Now his father went down to see the woman, and there Samson held a feast as was customary for young men. When the people saw him, they chose 30 men to be his companions. Let me tell you a riddle, Samson said to them. If you can give me an answer within 7 days of the feast, I'll give you 30 linen garments and 30 sets of clothes. That guy's kinda low-key, cocky. If you can't tell me the answer, you must give me the 30 garments and 30 sets of clothes. That was the riddle that says, let us hear it, he replied. Out of the eater, something to eat. Out of the strong, something sweet. For 3 days they could not give an answer. On the 4th day they said to Simon's wife, coax your husband to explain the riddle to us. Or we will burn you and your father's household to death. Did you invite us here to steal our property? Then Simon's wife threw himself at him and he sobbing, you hate me, you don't really love me, you're giving my people a riddle, but you haven't told me the answer. I haven't even explained to my father or mother, he replied, so why would I explain to you? She cried the whole 7 days to the feast soon. So on the 7th day he finally told her because she continued to press him. She in turn explained the riddle to the people. Before sunset, on the 7th day, the man on the stone said to him, what is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than lion? Someone said to them, if you had not plowed with my heifer, you would have not solved my riddle. What is hellfire? God is not born a craft or spawn. Okay, if you had not plowed with my heifer, you would have not solved my riddle. Then the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him. He went down to Ashekol, struck down 30 of their men, stripped them of everything, and gave their clothes to those who had explained the riddle. Burning with anger, he returned to his father's home, and Samson's wife was given to one of his champions who had attended him at the feast. Okay. Samson's vengeance on the Philistines. Later on, at the time of wheat harvest, Simon took a young goat and went to visit his wife. He said, I'm going to my wife's room, but her father wouldn't let him go in. I was so sure that you hated her, he said, that I gave her to your companion. Isn't her younger sister more attractive than take her instead? Samson said to them, this time I have the right to get even with the Philistines. I really harm them. So he went out and caught 300 foxes and tied them tail to tail in pairs. He then fastens each a torch on every pair of tails. What is goofy ass fucking Cartoon Network fucking bullshit? Lit the torches and let the foxes loose in the stranding grain of the Philistines. He buried up the stock and standing grain together with the vineyards and other crops. When the Philistines asked who did this, they were told Samson the termite's son-in-law because his wife was given to his companion. I'm gonna finish here. Thank you for watching.